Thanos versus Mace Windu. Who would win? In this scenario, we're gonna say hypothetically that Mace is on Titan and the one to stop Thanos. So Thanos only has 4 of the Infinity Stones. He doesn't have the Time Stone or the Mind Stone, and Mace is sent there to stop him by the Jedi or something like that. All right. So fresh Thanos on Titan versus Episode 3 Mace Windu, who's determined to stop him. First up, the feats of Thanos. He goes one-on-one in hand-to-hand combat with the Hulk and wins. I think it's worth noting that the Hulk is probably tired because it's the same day he fought like a giant wolf creature in a huge battle for planet. But nonetheless, he does that. He faces Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange with no Time Stone. And he is initially defeated, but he comes out on top and wins. And they are barely left alive. And they're all almost dead. So I think that is probably his most impressive feat. And that's when he has the 4 stones. This is the same Thanos that will be fighting Mace Windu. Then we have him fighting Fat Thor, Captain America with Mjolnir for part of the fight, and Iron Man with just his sword, double-sided sword. That is incredible. Then we have him just one-shotting Vision one time, but I think it's worth noting Vision just came back to life after this, so I mean it's not really him at his strongest or anything. He just comes back to life after Thanos burned him. Oh, and by the way, when he fought all the Avengers on Titan, he was also fighting Nebula as well. That's just, he got hit by a ship and he survived, and he literally just continued his fight like nothing happened. I think that shows how crazy his durability actually is. But that's gonna play a big role in the fight nonetheless. He also takes on Captain Marvel for a time, holds his own. I mean, obviously, I don't think he would have beaten her if they kept fighting. But then he gets his stones, and he takes her out. He just puts up his own. He holds his own really well. And but to be honest, I don't think most of his fights that he wins are because he's a better fighter. I think it's mainly because he's the smaller fighter, more experienced fighter. He is 1,000 years old, and I think because of that and his experience and age, he's fought literally every type of fighter there is, probably like millions of fighters. So he knows how to fight, and he has so much experience and knowledge. His only real weaknesses are he's a bit slower, and he's a bit overconfident when facing some opponents like he was with Scarlet Witch. It just won't go anywhere. His biggest strength is that he has 4 of the most powerful weapons in the galaxy, and that he has so much experience running so many different opponents that he's not fought one like this one. Mace Windu. Now, Mace Windu, I'm going to use only canon feats, not legends, because I don't know, I think that could make it kind of unfair. Okay, first up, he goes against Jango Fett, and he doesn't have his jetpack, but he kind of stomps him. And it's not even close, and he's the best bounty hunter in the whole galaxy. Then we go to Asajj Ventress, who he's defeated. And then you got General Grievous, who he's also defeated and kind of stomped and destroyed. But and then he ended up retreating and escaping, though, so that's fair to say. And then we got Darth Sidious, who is widely considered the most powerful Sith Lord ever, or one of the most powerful Sith Lords ever, and he beats him straight up. And it's even possible that he was holding back during the fight. Also, I think it's worth considering during the fight, all 3 of the other Jedi do die, and Mace doesn't, besides Kit Fisto, he doesn't even help them survive really. So I don't know, I feel like that might take away from his win a little bit, because it kind of does. And then we go to Mother Talzin, who is probably the most powerful person he fights. Well, arguably. He fights Mother Talzin in the Clone Wars. I don't think she's at full power when he fights her. he's not during like any of her feats, but Mother Talzin is also capable of she took on pretty weakened Dooku and Sidious at the same time in a Force Lightning battle before she was killed by Grievous. She's really, really powerful, and Mace arguably was about to get the upper hand on her, but it's hard to tell because there was a huge explosion at the end of their duel, so we'll never really know. Now on to Mace's fighting style. He uses Vapad, which is a variation of the 7th form of lightsaber combat that he created. Channels his dark side emotions and channels his opponent's dark side emotions, and it puts them back onto his opponent. So basically, they're fighting like their own power. It's hard to explain, but I think most of you probably heard of it before. So nonetheless, he's really powerful, and then he has this thing called Shadow Point where he could see his opponent's weaknesses. So like I said before, Thanos has some weaknesses. Mace would be able to see them if he used the Shadow Point, which he most likely would after realizing how powerful Thanos is. Mace, I mean, like really, I think there's only a couple things that he is physically a lot smaller than Thanos. I mean, he's 6'3", which is tall for a person, but Thanos is 8'3", which is gigantic. So I mean, in hand-to-hand combat, he just wouldn't be able to take Thanos, quite frankly. And that he's maybe a little bit arrogant, but I feel like that's mainly when it's outside variable. And I'd like to say that his only ever losses are to Dooku and to Yoda, and that when he fights Dooku, it is around before episode 1, and Mace is at his strongest in episode 3. And when he fights Yoda, I think he gets stronger after that. I'm not sure how much. And Yoda was the one who trained him, so he really understood how he fought, his weaknesses, and anything that he could exploit better than anybody would. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys like a shortened version of the fight that I wrote, and it kind of shows how it would go, but I feel like the fight, it would definitely be longer than this, but it's a pretty realistic representation of the fight. I'm not going to describe every single little detail of what they're doing and what they're thinking, but I think it'll grasp a good reality of how the fight would go. And yeah, so anyways, here it goes. This is how it goes. Thanos, seeing Mace Windu, walks towards him. One person to stop me? Who even are you? Mace Windu, Jedi Master, Mace Windu. I'm here to stop you, Mace said before he ignited his blade. Stop me? Haha, good luck with that. Mace then charges at Thanos, who stands his ground. Mace jumps into the air, holding his lightsaber, bringing it down towards Thanos, who sidesteps the attack. Mace, nearly falling, recovers as Thanos retaliates with a powerful punch, knocking Mace down. Thanos goes for another punch, but Mace dodges it, kicking him in the face and igniting his lightsaber once again, and Thanos would then use the Power Stone to send a blast of energy towards Mace, knocking him down again, but Mace would quickly recover and use the Force to pick Thanos up and throw him into a crashed ship. Mace ignites his blade and runs towards Thanos, prepared to finish him off. Thanos would use the Power Stone to summon purple lightning, which Mace would block with his lightsaber, as Thanos regained his footing and got closer and closer to Mace until he was right in front of him. He knocked the saber out of Mace's hand and threw him 20 feet as hard as he could. Mace, pissed off, scarred, and bleeding, would pick up Thanos, and using his inner darkness would use Force Crush. Briefly, Thanos would collapse. His ribcage was ruined. He would look up in desperation as Mace was approaching and grab a nearby moon with the power of the stones and throw it towards Mace. As Thanos moved away, Mace, using Force speed, would easily move out of the way. Thanos would look to see what happened to Mace, who would run towards him one last time. Thanos, using some debris from the crashed ships, would throw it at Mace, who would dodge with ease and jump at Thanos. Force pushing him, Thanos would get up just as Mace would cut off his left arm. Thanos, on his knees, would look up at Mace as he finished him off. Mace Windu wins. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to be making a lot more verses if you guys like this, because I'm gonna be like hyping this up a lot. So anyways, I just hope you guys like this. Please sub and just like it, and yeah. Any verses you want me to do, just comment them. And by the way, this is gonna take me a while to make. Right now, at the time of me recording this, it is March 27th. I'm expecting this to be by like maybe next weekend. So anyways, bye.